Hello, folks. You are listening to WPVM 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen to us online at WPVMFM.org. And I'm Spoon Lady, and you're listening to Busker's Broadcast. And we've got CHINQUAPIN Duo here.
CHINQUAPIN Duo. My name's Banjo Mitch McConnell, and this is Sarah Gwendolyn.
Hi.
And y'all been busking for a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been busking myself. I started about 4 years ago, and then just really started to take it seriously in the last 2 years. So,
do you feel like, what do you think it is that street performing does for you? Like why street perform? Why not just sit at home? I mean, why?
You get to meet a lot more people. There's some surprising opportunities that happen when you play on the streets, and it's more fun. You get to play for little kids sometimes. I don't know.
Get your name out there a lot too.
Yeah.
Actually, like for instance, we got interviewed by Time Warner Cable, or not interviewed, but they recorded us playing some tunes and.
Yeah, Richard Green. Yeah, Richard Green was just down here recently for Time Warner Cable. He was doing the Around Carolinas segment. He seemed like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
But it just kind of goes to show how the Asheville busking scene is kind of caught folks' attention.
Oh, yeah.
Even the New York Times showed up at the city meeting, and he was around this weekend also taking photographs and talking to folks. And so yeah, it's national now.
Yeah.
Totally national.
It's
now.
fun too when you're traveling to try and play in different places. It's a very mobile profession. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, do y'all want to play a few songs?
Yeah, sounds good.
No, let me get this video thing going so that maybe somebody can see a video of it too.
Do you want to play?
We're going.
Do you want to play a Benton's Dream?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mitchell plays second, fourth.
What's
Was
that?
it?
Fourth
at Union Grove for this song.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tighten my bow.
you leave here, you're going to the Old Time Jam?
Yeah, the Altamont Brewing Company Old Time Jam, which starts at 7. It's a really fun jam to go to.
7 till whenever?
7 till...
Goes pretty late.
Yeah, usually about midnight, and then if people still want to play, we go to my house and play till the sun comes up.
That sounds
That's
good.
what I'm going to be doing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hanging out with my dad. My dad is
your
actually
dad's
going to
too.
come and pick me up from the station when I'm finished with this show, and we're going to go to dinner.
Cool. That sounds
Not
awesome.
pizza.
Not pizza.
No.
Not pizza. Yeah, my dad works a lot. He's one of the big head honchos for Pizza Hut. So I get a lot of Pizza Princess jokes. But what do you want to play?
Do you want to play with us at some point?
I can. My spoons are right across the street. I can run out and grab them.
Remember, we'll play Double File. This is a cool tune.
What's that called?
Double File.
Double File? Where did that come from?
I can't remember.
Do you remember where you learned it?
Well, it's probably a tune on Slippery Hill.
Slippery Hill. What's Slippery Hill?
It's like, it's a website with a lot of collected source recordings.
Well, that's pretty neat thing.
Yeah, slippery-hill.com.
A lot of fiddle tunes?
Tons, like hundreds and hundreds. Yeah, like way too many
you
for
can
any
spend
one
days.
person to learn.
Yeah, spend days just looking through it and trying to find a tune you want to learn. And it's pretty cool. I just got introduced to it last month, and now I understand where everyone learns their tunes because you go to all these jams and it's like...
You can play along with people, but if you really want to sit down and like learn good like old time style, the source recordings help. I don't know.
Do you feel like busking helps you learn, or maybe learning tunes from other folks even?
Sometimes learning tunes from others, but also just playing all the time,
Yeah,
like
just
getting
playing
your
for hours and
coordination
hours.
down and stuff like that. Like it's not just learning new songs; it's getting better at the songs that you already know, and it's crazy how much
Yeah.
more you can get better at songs. Like it's just there's no end to getting better at one tune.
Especially having to play in different situations, like with on the street, there's so much distraction goes along with playing, and I think it's pretty good practice.
Yeah.
Learning how to focus and
I'd say
figure things
so.
out.
Yeah.
And how to interact with people. It's fun.
Definitely.
All right.
Especially with all the fire trucks here.
Oh yeah. Well, the firehouse is right downtown. You know,
So loud.
I watch them. They run them back and the sirens back and forth to the station.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's protocol or what.
I don't know how they get anywhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive something that big, that's for sure.
Yeah. Especially in this town.
I know when I've been busking with other buskers, you know, the fire trucks will come by and they'll just suddenly stop and give the fire truck like its own solo as it's going down the street. That's always pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta work around it, right?
Yep.
Do you think there's a particular moment busking that stands out to you the most, like just any particular moment?
I don't know. I just like talking to people. There's like the other day I was playing by myself and this little girl came up to me and just like beelined it for my legs and just gave me this big hug and was like, "You're wonderful." It was cute.
Yeah, the kids are probably the best part.
Yeah.
Like for our tip jar, we use a treasure chest, and little kids come by and they see it and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah, they like
she's
that.
got a treasure chest." Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
No, the kids are probably the best part about busking, I would say, at least.
We were talking about that
Best
yesterday.
moments.
Where that girl's like dancing.
Oh
we were like,
yeah.
that's the best part of busking. Little kids dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they get some really saucy dances going on. You're kind of wondering what TV channel they're watching.
Britney Spears.
Hey, sometimes you get classy ballerinas too. Those are always my favorites. The ones, the ballerinas, where they
Yeah.
try to be very, very intricate with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Those my favorite.
The outfits you see sometimes too.
Oh yeah,
Just little kids dressed up like superheroes and
princesses.
princesses.
Yeah.
Or
People,
whatever they're supposed to
people
be.
watching in general is pretty fun too,
Yeah.
especially here. It's a lot of weirdos.
Yeah. But
It's entertaining.
yeah, it's very entertaining.
Well, maybe we should do another one.
What do you want to play, Mitch?
Try fall on my knees. Give it a try.
Oh yeah. Singing tune.
I fall on my knees,
So, what do you think your biggest challenges are when you're busking? You know, like what are the hardest things?
Getting out
About
in
busking.
time. Getting out in time.
Yeah.
Just because
You gotta find a good spot.
busking has become a very popular thing, not just for the people listening, but for the people that want to actually busk. So, like, you have to get out there. I mean, these days you got to get out there at 9:30 to get a good spot to actually play.
Yeah, I have that, man. Like, just waiting for a spot, and like you get there, and it's like somebody else waiting. Like, oh, my friends will be after me. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like finding a fishing hole, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm hoping there'll be some new spots opening up here soon.
You
Kind of
guys
like
ever-
where the chocolate factory opened up now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems
the
like
new
it's
chocolate
expanding a little
lounge.
bit.
You guys ever considered West Asheville for busking?
Thought about it, but I
I've
don't
seen somebody
only for
do
the
it,
market.
and
like the
Yeah,
tailgate
it's-
market.
Lynn Foster was in on Spoonful of Tunes talking, and she spoke with me a little bit about how much she wanted buskers to be in West Asheville, and that she felt like over the next few years, you know, it might take a while, that there will be adequate foot traffic, and she feels like although the sidewalks aren't big,
They're not, yeah.
that
There's
a
lots of
lot of
people.
the business owners themselves would allot for buskers to be able to be on their property.
right.
Yeah.
So
The Asheville Sandwich Company on Haywood in West Asheville, last year they were doing gigs there, and it was just it was cool. They had you sit out on the barbershop porch and play tunes for a couple hours. They would feed you and give you some drinks, and it was pretty fun. Unfortunately, they're giving them a hard time about getting permits now to do so on that area. So.
oh man.
But it might start up again middle of the summer. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes open for that, and I'll keep people updated about getting booked to play there because it's really simple.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, anytime that you've got, I mean, really, we've got all parts of Asheville really asking. You know, even some folks at Biltmore Village have been sending me a few emails going, "How do we get buskers down in Biltmore
Oh, really?
Village?" You know, so we're talking, you know, all corners of Asheville,
Yeah.
kind of saying, "Hey, we want this," and I think that speaks miles, really, honestly.
Well, we just played a show at the Catawba Brewing Company, and that's really busy down there too. I don't know
Yeah.
if you could set up down
A
there. and
few
bus,
different
but
breweries
there's
right in that area.
But there's a ton of foot traffic down there. It's on Banks Avenue, and I'm kind of tempted to go over and just try it and see what people think. So,
You pioneer.
yeah, exactly. We were talking about that actually. Me and Sarah were just
Like
over
making new
this weekend,
spots.
like, making new spots, like trying different areas.
Do the machete with you, just imaginary brush as you're walking down the sidewalk. I discovered this place. Blaze the trail for the rest of you.
Oh goodness. Do you have a favorite song to play busking?
I like that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really
Fall
like
Maize is a good
the
one.
singing tunes.
We also play a song in D called Ribbons and Bows, which is a tune by Richie Stearns, banjo player out in Ithaca, New York. He's definitely one of my idol banjo players. He's the reason I play the way that I play. Like, I play a different style compared to most old time musicians. I don't know exactly what it is. It's not as much round peak as just like really notey, and
You don't know what region that would have derived from?
it's
like
almost his own
Southern-
style, Richie Stearns' own style. Like, he has
Yeah.
videos on YouTube of like how to play his own style and how he does it. It's pretty interesting. But,
We could play Boatin' Up Sandy.
okay.
I like Boatin' Up Sandy.
It's a fun tune. I would normally play it in standard tuning, but with a banjo player, I should play it in A.
Yeah.
All right.
This chair is loud. There's also a major version of that song. Some people play. It's a fun one.
What other cities have you busked in, or
Oh, jeez.
or do you have any
Everywhere
favorite
that I
spots?
could. I don't know. I like finding little towns that, like, don't really have buskers, because then, I don't know, it's kind of a novelty thing. You know what I mean? And they're really appreciative of it, because they're like, oh, wow, what is this? Like, what are you doing here?
You feel like folks are pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the places I usually do really well in. Like, I don't like busking in Nashville.
Nashville?
I hate it. It's so loud there. It's so stressful. I feel like I'm gonna break my strings or something. Just trying to play over all that stuff.
What do you feel about New Orleans?
New Orleans is fun if I have a band, but I tried going down there sort of recently by myself and didn't do very well.
What do you think?
I mean, really, I've only busked in Asheville. I tried to busk in Charleston. Charleston's not that great, but it works out every once in a while.
Sorry, Glenn the Busker, if you're listening.
What's that?
Glenn the Busker. Glenn is a fella in Charleston who
Yeah.
almost single-handedly got it so that it's legal again
Oh, yeah.
in Charleston.
Right.
It's a real stand-up guy for
That's
doing so.
another thing about trying a new town. If you don't see buskers, you can never be sure, like, if the cops are going to hassle you about it or not. Usually, if it is a problem, they'll just tell you to stop and, like, pack up and move on.
Have you had any situations where you felt like your rights have been stepped on?
Well, personally, I don't really... If a business is fine with you being right in front of them playing, then it doesn't make any sense to why you would not be able to.
I've actually think I've had a business call the cops on me before, because I've had cops come up to me while I'm playing and hear what I'm playing, and they're like, "This kid's not making noise. Like, he's making
Was that in
music."
Asheville?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
It was at the Iron a while back, a couple years
okay.
ago, and yeah, like they didn't kick me out either. They're just like, somebody must have just.
Well, I can guarantee I already know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some problems with some people with the businesses in that area.
For the most part, it seems like the business owners here are real appreciative, and that they believe it draws people here.
Definitely.
And helps their businesses.
If you
as
want
such.
a lively and vibrant downtown, for the tourists, like,
Creativity
busking, I
breeds
think, kind of
creativity.
helps.
For the most part.
You're always going to have those people that don't really know what they're doing, but,
Yeah.
Comes with territory.
yeah.
Y'all got another one?
That's right. Do you want to try Ways of the World?
Nope.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's a new one. So.
It's a crazy
It's
tune.
really crooked, too, so
Ooh.
probably won't play that one on the radio.
Do you want to do Bullet the Wagon?
Okay. I don't
What are you playing?
play kind of
Bowl at the Wagon?
Bull at the Wagon.
Yeah.
Abby knows that tune.
I
Just a
do.
bit.
I
I don't play it
down
right,
there.
but,
It's fun.
You play it the California way?
because apparently I play it the Kyle Cox way.
remember the very first time you ever went out busking?
Kind of. Yeah.
It was 5 years ago, and I was nervous. I wasn't playing banjo then. I was playing guitar, and it was actually what was crazy about that back then, 5 years ago, and then today is like I was telling Sarah this weekend. 5 years ago, it wasn't that popular. Like it blew. Busking just like really blew up in this town because 5 years ago I could have any spot I wanted. Like if somebody was playing there, it's okay because the Iron was open or Mass General was open. Like all those spots, like there was very little people out there playing, and just as the years gone by, it's really started to pick up. But
What are your thoughts on the 2-hour rule?
I think it's a good idea. I like it. Just because it does give other people chances, because there are so many people out there right now.
Keeps it more fluid.
I mean, unfortunately, it's a lot of people. Not a lot, but there's a few people in town that don't abide by it, and it's kind of a little crappy. But
it's very frustrating when that happens.
It's not recently?
Very. I don't know. It's like there's not really a whole lot you can do about it, but it really does ruin it for everyone. Like, if people can't be polite and accommodating for each other, that's like one of the things about Asheville that's kind of special. I
know that I've had a few issues with folks, and it's hard to explain to them that, you know, if you didn't follow this 2-hour rule, then it would probably be a law. And then instead of being able to possibly stay there past the 2 hours, if no one's waiting on you, you're going to have to pack up at the end of the 2 hours instead.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's just one of those things that it keeps it fluid for the business owners too, because I mean, nobody wants to listen to Spoons 10 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, and also, I don't want to be busking in a city where I have to be aggressive or like stay in one spot for hours and hours on end just to guarantee myself a spot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I know
It's
exactly
just,
what you mean.
I like a little bit of the hustle, but I don't want to hustle that much. Like, I don't know.
I know exactly what you mean. And New Orleans, I remember having to get up at, you know, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait.
Sometimes that's fun, but not, like, I don't want to live somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was just too much work for me. You know, and then, like you were saying about Nashville, you know, it's just so loud and so wishy-washy. They just, you know, all the good performers just get chased off.
Well, another scary part about Nashville is I had a friend tell me that his buddy was out there busking, playing some of his originals. A few weeks later, he heard his original on the radio by somebody else doing it.
Did he have somebody videotaping him?
I don't know. Like they had his information. They had all his lyrics and everything. They went home. They fixed it up. They wanted the way they wanted to, and then they recorded it. And yep. So if you're out in Nashville, don't play originals.
Yeah. Nashville's a weird place. Any place where you have think tanks.
It's kind of
to
like
write songs.
Seems like where you go to sell your soul.
It's just wrong.
Play music.
Well, you don't make music that way. It's like genetically engineered music or something. You just don't do that. You just don't do it.
People, it's odd that the masses enjoy that kind of stuff too. I don't know.
Simple is good, right?
I guess so. That's why I like old time for the most part.
Yeah, well, that's why I like old time. You guys have another one?
Yeah. Do you want to play Old Joe Clark?
Sure.
Lots of people know that tune.
Oh, Joe. This is one of those tunes that people don't mind if you make your own version to it, because everyone plays it. which spot downtown do you think is your favorite spot to busk in? I see a lot over there at Mass General Store. Do you like the acoustics of that doorway?
Yeah, the Mass General Store is nice.
There's no wind too. It's a lot quieter.
You don't
that
have to
wind's pretty
play so loud there. I also like playing in front of the bookstore, in front of malaprops.
Yeah.
It's really
It's a
it's
good
very
morning
relaxed there.
Spot. Early morning play there.
Doesn't have the most foot traffic, but I don't feel like I'm gonna get pushed out. Like if I play Woolworths or the Flatiron or somewhere, depends on who else sets up in that area, but usually I have to move.
You feel like a lot of buskers are rude about their sound?
No, not so much. It's just that that's a popular spot for bands, and like I can't compete with an entire band.
Yeah.
Playing next to me, I hate the sound of like two songs playing at once.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. I do. We got about 15 minutes left here on our clock. So you guys are listening to Busker's Broadcast, and you can find us on Facebook. BuskerBroadcast@gmail.com. You should send us in your MP3s, Buskers, or give us a shout. Maybe we can have you in here also. WPVM has been kind enough to give us an extra avenue for our Asheville Buskers to be heard. And so thank you, WPVM, for
That's
that.
cool.
And do you guys have another song that you want to play before we...
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have any events or anything coming up?
Not too much. I'm leaving the country in a week.
Or you're going to Ireland?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Are you going to try to do some busking?
Oh,
there?
definitely, yeah.
There's some great folk music there.
Yeah, we're going to 2 different punk festivals and 2 traditional festivals.
Awesome.
And both of the traditional festivals welcome buskers.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm excited.
I
don't
would
really know
like to.
any Irish tunes, but I'll just play old time over there and see what happens. Maybe play some Cajun tunes.
That'd be good. I'd like to hear, what it's like busking over there. I personally have never been to Europe.
I think they're much more accommodating of it.
Fancy.
It's a very old profession.
I have a friend in Ireland, Porrick Collins, who's a harp player, does traditional music and harps,
Oh, cool.
and they have him like all the folk festivals. They always ask him to come play the harp.
Yeah.
So if you see a guy named Porrick Collins, check him out. Tell him
Okay.
Billy Scribbles said hello.
I wonder if he'll be at this festival I'm going to in Ennis, because it's the biggest traditional festival.
Yeah, there's one that's like the biggest one that like it moves different city every year, and like that one they always have him come play the harp.
I wonder if
The
that's the
kid's
same
about your
one.
age. It's spelled Patriac, but it's Porrick because it's Gaelic.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
but he's a great harp player and a good dude. He'll jam with you too.
Cool,
But
yeah.
keep an eye out for him.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well,
Maybe we should
play.
See where our videos are.
We play a major version of Clucklehen.
Oh yeah.
What are we playing?
Clucklehen.
Clucklehen?
John Ashby's version. Woo!
That's kind of a cheery
Hooray.
version of that song. A lot of
Yeah,
times
it's
you
the
hear it kind
major
of
version.
daunting a little bit.
Yep. That's the
Yeah.
one that most people play.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of get drawn to that because that old time minor thing kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
attracts
That's
a lot.
Yeah. No, Miners.
Rubens
definitely.
Train, stuff like that.
Yeah, Rubens Train is one of those that most travelers know for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. Was that and Railroad Bill and
I'd probably say Rubens Train and Angelina Banker are the wagon wheel of old time.
Yeah.
everybody knows Angelina Baker.
Yeah.
It's got such a pretty melody to it. I think that's one of the first old time songs I ever really learned, I think, personally.
Do you play it on a dulcimer?
I play it on dulcimer.
Yeah.
Just right.
Oh,
Good
goodness.
jammed out.
I need to start bringing my dulcimer to the old time jam
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
at the Altamont tonight at 7.
Yep.
The Altamont
Brewing Company.
Brewing Company.
West Asheville.
Right.
Haywood.
Yeah, so if you're
Ooh,
into
I'd
the
play
kind of
outside
music
today.
that we're listening to now, which is old time music, and this is what you're wanting to learn, then that is where you go.
Yeah. Like I said, we start at 7. We invite any skill level to come and play with us. If you're a beginner, I advise you to come at 7, just because we do get pretty crazy towards the end. A lot more twisted tunes, a lot faster, a lot more rowdier. So yeah, 7 o'clock's good for the beginners.
Awesome.
Be there.
Yeah, Billy Scribbles is going tonight.
Yep.
I'm gonna go hang
Yeah,
out with my
it'll be
dad. Maybe I can get my dad to go. I don't know. You think maybe play one more?
Yeah.
And then we'll play a few tunes from Bus Break and take a moment before Blue Fox comes on to hang out with us.
How fast can you get to be?
It's only one string.
Okay.
You want to play Ribbons and Bows?
What are we playing?
Ribbons and Bows, that song I was telling you about.
Wow.
Richie Stearns.
You said was one of your favorites.
It's not old time, but it's nice.
That's all right. So, folks, you're listening to Busker Broadcast, and we're just talking about busking and playing busking tunes, and we're gonna throughout the year be bringing in buskers from up and down the sidewalks and dragging them into the radio station. We're gonna record them and air them and try to get everybody archived to the best of our ability. I'm pretty excited about it, especially with the location of the radio station. It's nice because
Yeah.
we're going to be able to go down and just grab up buskers and be like, come on down.
Follow us.
Are you gonna get any like out of town buskers to come in?
Of course. Of course.
Fun.
Yeah, and, and folks that are in and out of town, I'm going to make it a point to try to pre-record some folks so we can get, even if it's not aired, we can have it archived, just
Oh yeah.
Right.
as much media as we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, ribbons and bows.
Ribbons and Bows.
Thank
You are listening to Busker's Broadcast, and we got CHINQUAPIN Duo in here.
Yep.
You guys want to talk about how folks can reach you?
Reverb Nation is, I think, it for CHINQUAPIN Duo right now.
Yeah,
How do you spell
CHINQUAPIN.
CHINQUAPIN
Yeah,
again?
so it's CHINQUIPIN. And
Okay.
it's a small
Yeah.
chestnut type thing. That's what a CHINQUAPIN is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they taste like chocolate when you roast them. I've never eaten one though.
I like chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, you are listening to WPVM 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen to us online at WPVMFM.org. We're going to take a quick break. Blue just showed up, and we're going to play a couple of songs real quick.